Hey, sports fans, PB&Z, Sports Chaos, NBA All-Star Weekend. We got lots to talk about. And by the way, why are they having an All-Star game? I have no idea why they're going to go through this painful thing. But anyways, hey, NFL, it's hunting season for veterans. If you're a veteran in the NFL, the carnage is about to start. They're on the end of the contract with the TV networks. They're down last year's salary cap. Guess what? You may not have a job. We'll talk about this in a minute. And we got our NBA mid-season predictions along with the All-Star game talk. PB, let's get into this. First of all, I got a couple things in that 2-minute drill. TB12. Oh, by the way, you got a beer. Talk about your beer.
Oh, yeah, this is a great one. This is an IPA called Voodoo Ranger, and it's out of New Belgium Brewery.
Yes.
New Belgium Brewery out in Fort Collins, Colorado.
I've had it.
It's 7.0. It's got guava, pineapple, mango, all kinds of hints in it, but it's not very fruity. It's just got that citrus kind of hit to it, and it's got a pretty hoppy aftertaste. It's kind of beer I like. So
I like it. And by the way, I have a belated margarita because apparently we missed the Margarita Annual Day 2 weeks ago. It was National Margarita Day. Ricky P told me to say something about it.
Okay. Well, it is March de Mayo, though.
Yes, that's true. Hey, by the way,
not March de Mayo. I meant Cinco de March.
Same thing. Doesn't matter. Hey, by the way, TB12. We always talk about my boy. He's right here next to me doing the show. His rookie card this week went for $1.32 million. PB, is that mind-blowing or what?
That is.
For a card.
For a card, I know. And I've always, as a child, I always was into, cards. I still have a bunch of old baseball cards. And
I do too.
And I can't believe that a card would sell for that much money. It's crazy.
Blows my mind. Oh, my God. Hey, speaking of Boston, TB12 was in Boston where he made all his fame. Chara, Big Z, came back this week. First time in 15 years. He played 14 years as our captain for the Bruins. He got a rousing ovation from the Bruins players because there's no fans at Boston Garden. What do you think about Big Z? You like him? Is he a Hall of Famer?
I don't think he's a first ballot shoo-in, but I think eventually he'll get there.
Ooh, okay. So, hey, let's move on to MLB real quick. Did you hear this one? The Yankees skipper, Aaron Boone. He had to get a pacemaker the other day. He's only 48 years old. Apparently he had open heart surgery in 2009. PB, 48 years old, pacemaker. We're a little bit older than that. Can you believe it?
No, that's a little...
I'm afraid right now. All right, hey, moving on. By the way, 2018, the Red Sox won the World Championship, the World Series. Their entire outfield is now gone. JBJ signed a contract with Milwaukee Brewers for like $24 million for 2 years. Good for him. By the way, JD Martinez is finally happy. You know why? Video surveillance is going to be allowed back in MLB this year. They allow the players to go into the locker room after they're at bats and look at the video going forward. Do you like that or not?
Again, it's too much. There's too much of that in baseball right now. I don't like it.
They're going to let them do it. Hey, speaking of not let the rules being like a little bit twisted, you now have a mercy rule down in spring training. After 20 pitches, you can say the inning's over with the same pitcher. Alex Cora pulled us off twice last week. They were getting hammered. The same pitcher was giving up like 3, 4 runs. He said timeout. He's throwing 20 pitches. The inning's over. Is that a good rule, PB, for spring training?
I mean, I think they're just trying to protect the pitchers, right? And
oh man,
it's kind of like load management in baseball.
20 pitches. Oh, I can't talk about this anymore. Hey, March Madness. We're going to talk about this more next week, right? Because next weekend on Sunday they announced the final teams for the March Madness. Lots to come on, but 3 teams you won't hear about: Kentucky, Michigan State, and Duke. PB, I missed having the Blue Bloods. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I mean, just their storied franchises that have just been in the dance probably. I don't know how many years in a row those teams have made it, but to not have them make it this year, it's going to be. But you know what? If they did make it, maybe they get out of the first round, but they'd probably not get past that, just given the teams they've played, the records they've had. So it's okay.
That's a really good point. So it would be a waste of money. All right, I'm with you on that. We got a lot more to talk about because that's interesting how they're going to do this. All the teams are going to play in Indianapolis. I don't know how you do that. We'll talk about it next week. All right. Hey, NFL news, quarterback carousel franchise tag started last week. It ends next week. By the way, Dak Prescott has not been signed to a contract. The Cowboys have to sign him by Thursday or he's a free agent. What do you think happens there, PB?
Man, that's a mystery, really. I can't figure out what's going on there in Dallas. I think they're gonna figure out a way to get him signed, though. I just don't. I can't see him going to another team right now. I mean, it would completely disrupt this whole, quarterback shuffle, quarterback carousel, and draft if he leaves Dallas. But there's too many good. He's a good quarterback, not a great quarterback. But he's got if his offensive line is healthy, if Zeke can come back and be Zeke, if CeeDee Lamb can have an excellent sophomore year, I think he's got enough around him to certainly win that division. I don't think they're Super Bowl contenders or anything like that right away, but they should be able to win that division.
So that's a lot of ifs, PB. I'm with you. He is not. I don't agree. He's not worth $39 million. Would you agree?
No. He's a good quarterback.
All right. Hey,
great.
A little DYK for you. Speaking of quarterbacks, from 2009 to 2016, there were 37 quarterbacks taken in the first round. Believe it or not, 22 are no longer with the same team. Only one won a Super Bowl. Can you name him?
From 2009 till when?
To 16, yes.
To 16, first round. So that eliminates Mahomes, obviously, because he was 17.
No, he was in 16.
Oh, he was 16, so it's Mahomes.
Yes, that's right.
All right. Okay.
By the way, there was only two others that made a Super Bowl. Any idea who they were?
Oh, man. 2009, Aaron Rodgers? No, because he won one. He was before that.
I'll save you the pain. It's one guy you've been beeping on for several weeks, Jared Goff, and another guy we've been beeping on even today's show, Cam Newton.
Okay, that's good. Yeah, good point. Yeah, they
All
were
right,
both.
man.
Well, Newton was number one overall.
Overall, you are correct. I think it was in 2014 or 13. Yes.
Okay, and Goff was number 2 overall, wasn't he?
Goff was number 1 overall when he got drafted. I think in 14.
Oh wow. Okay.
There you go.
Oh.
Hey, by the way, J.J. Watt went to the Cardinals. Is that to win a title or for the money?
I mean, a little bit of both. I mean, let's look at. I mean, I had
it's only
Arizona.
A 2-year deal.
Yeah, I mean, Arizona was my sleeper in the West. I mean, in the NFC last year.
You are a big fan. You are a big fan. Yes.
And I think I like Kyler Murray. I like what he's doing there. They got DeAndre Hopkins there. They have enough, swag going on in that franchise right now to do some damage. And I think it's a good move. I think he can win. I think he can win a title there in the next 2 years. It's possible.
PB, I'm with you. A lot of pundits say he took the money. I think you're right. I think they can win. I think Kyler's a solid play. You're right. Good idea, man. All right. Hey, what are the Pats going to do? For a quarterback, what are they going to do?
I mean, I don't get the local news anymore, so I'm listening to the national news.
There's nothing happening. I'll tell you right now, nothing is happening.
They talked about it this morning. It was either this morning or yesterday morning on Get Up on ESPN. Mike Greenberg had a host of characters on there, including Ninkovich, about what the Patriots are going to do at quarterback, and nobody has any clue what's going on. They're talking about bringing Jimmy G back. They're talking about trading up to get Mac Jones. They're talking about trading up to get, I even heard they might trade up to get Fields. It's just all these different stories going on nationally. And you're telling me locally, there's absolutely nothing. They might be starting with Cam Newton again next year for all we know.
I think you're right. You know what? That seems like the way they're going to go. I don't know. Hey, by the way, Pittsburgh, they managed to reshuffle Big Ben's contract, good or bad?
I'm indifferent there.
They owed him $41 million that they cut him. You got to stick with him, I think. At the end of the day, you can't pay a guy you can't allocate $41 million to his not having the team. So good for him. Alex Smith, he's cut. Another one in the carousel. He's out there. You mentioned this earlier. Where does he go? Would he be a good fit for the Pats?
Might not be. That might be the answer right there, is to bring Alex Smith in and see what he can do. But the Pats have so many pieces to fit in on offense. Defensively, they could make a mark next year. There's no question. But offensively, there's just too many holes right now. I just can't see how that could happen. And then, all these guys that could come off the board early now, they're talking about Kyle Pitts being a top 5 pick at tight end. And, obviously, Devonta Smith, Waddle, those guys are probably going to come off in the top 10, 11, 12 picks. If the Pats just stand pat and sit at 15, what are they really going to do to help improve that? I don't know. But I do like someone of that experience and that capable, like an Alex Smith going to New England. That could be a good fit. But I just have I can't even speculate on that situation.
It wouldn't be bad. We'll talk more about this in a few weeks. Hey, NBA, let's get into the NBA. It's All-Star Weekend. I have no idea whether they're even doing it down in Atlanta. No fans, nothing, but whatever. Hey, we talked about the three-point shot. I got a little stat for you. Last week, I got to read this again. The Houston Rockets shot 4 for 45 from three-point land in the game. Obviously, they lost by 39 points. PB, is it killing us or what?
Yeah, what would that be? Just under 9%?
Yes, 8.9. You are correct.
Yeah. Oh man, that is atrocious. That is atrocious. And you would think at some point they would say, hey, let's try to work the ball inside a little bit. Let's post up a little bit. Let's penetrate a little bit. Just for the coaching, you got to be coaching a little bit there to continuously run offensive set after offensive set, throwing up threes. It's just insane to me. But you know what? The Houston Rockets, the Houston freaking Texans, and the Houston Astros can all take their friggin' sports teams and shove them straight up their butt because they all suck. Every single one of them.
PB, you said it. City of Houston sucks. Hey, how's your hockey team, Houston?
They're doing as good as Clemson's hockey team.
Yeah. All right, PB, give me your A list right now. Who are the 4 teams, two in each conference, that will make the NBA Finals, in your opinion, at the moment?
Well, in the East, I got to go with the Brooklyn Nets. They're hard not to pick at this point. The acquisition of Harden, having that big 3 there with KD and Kyrie Irving as well. It's just, By
the way, we said that in our preview show. We said they could probably be number 2, right?
They probably could, and I think they'll be there in the end. And then the other team I like in the East is going to be the Milwaukee Bucks. And I know they're not off to the best of starts right now, but anytime you got Giannis in there and what he brings to the table, and come playoff time, and he can carry a team, he really can. And the Sixers, they just seem like one of those teams that just gets in the mix, and then just fails come playoff time. So I can see the Sixers getting beat in the playoffs, and they may not even end up being the 1 seed in that Eastern Conference. So there's imagine the Celtics being the 7 seed or the Heat being the 7 seed and Philly being the 2 seed. Either one of those teams could beat Philadelphia in a 7-game series. As far as
by the way, we had Philadelphia 5 and I think 6 in our preview.
Right. Yeah. So I'm gonna go the Bucks, and the Nets in the Eastern Conference Finals.
All right, who do you got in the West?
In the West, I know the Lakers haven't been playing well as of late, but they also haven't had AD, right? And AD is going to come back. You put AD and LeBron on the same team in the playoffs, and you're done. I don't care if they finish with the 8 spot and they have to play whoever's number 1. They're going to win. They're going to win. So I'm going to put the Lakers there. And then the other team, one of my big dark horses in the West that I picked beginning of the season, you may remember, was the Phoenix Suns. And the Phoenix Suns are fulfilling what I thought they could do.
You are correct. You picked them. They're number 2 right now.
Yeah, and Devin Booker is probably one of the most underrated players in the league. And he hasn't even been playing in the last few games that Phoenix has had, and they're still winning games. So I really like what I see there. And that's still a dark horse pick, even though they're 2 right now, because I'm not putting the Jazz in this equation. I'm not putting the Clippers in this equation. And I had the Clippers as my number 2. I had Lakers Clippers 1 and 2. So I'm staying with the Lakers, but I really like my little dark horse pick of the Suns there that I think I had at 4. But the way they're playing, I'm going to put them in that fight. And they still may finish 4, but they'll win. They'll win their series and get to that conference final. So Lakers, Suns in the West.
Woo! All right. Are we ready for my Z list of what I think is the most unpredictable at the moment? Here we go.
I'm excited to hear this for a whole week.
Number 5. It's a tie. Celtics and Heat suck. And I'm going to say the Heat mostly. They're playing in what they call the Southeast Division. It's the NFC East of NBA. No one's over 500. It's horrible down there. Obviously, it's not the same thing in basketball. You can't win your division and get to the playoffs. And the Celtics, we talked about this last week. Danny Ainge, I don't know. Brad Stevens, I'm surprised he's still on the staff, but they won 4 games in a row. I'm sorry. I don't know. All right. That's my number 5 most surprising thing, because we both had them higher up. They're both 4 and 5 right now in the East. Number 4. Oh, my God. Utah, you mentioned them. They're number 1 in the West. I get what the WTF? Are you kidding me? And by the way, they got 2 All-Stars, Donovan Mitchell and Rudy Gobert. Both of them were picked last for the rosters between Durant and LeBron. And LeBron even said it. Who thinks about Utah? I didn't think about it when I was doing video games as a kid. Whoa! All right. Enough of that. Number 3. You ready for this? The New York Knicks. They're in the playoffs right now, PB. Who would have thought that? They're tied with the Celtics. I don't even understand this at the moment. I'm confused what's going on. The Knicks are going to be in the playoffs? Holy crap. Oh, my God. All right. Number 2, Brooklyn. We talked about Brooklyn being very good. We thought they could be good. James Harden is not selfish. He's a great player. Who would have thought James Harden is not a selfish player? He's an MVP candidate. Oh, my God. All right. I digress. Number 1, PB. Ready for this one? Philadelphia 76ers. I don't even want to admit this. Are they really that good? Is Embiid really a great player? Is he going to be the MVP? Add commentary, please.
I already told you what I think of the Sixers. I just don't think they're going to last in the playoffs. I think they're going to finish right around that 1 or 2. But if they're 2, man, and they have to play that 7 seed, that they're going to have to run into a team like Indiana or Boston or Miami that could very easily upset them. I'm with you. I don't think Philadelphia is going to be there in the end.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for saving me. Please, I appreciate it. All right, sports fans. Hey, next weekend we'll start to hint about the NCAA March Madness. We won't go into it yet because they won't pick that till Sunday. We'll do our show on Friday. PB and I will do a show on Monday or Tuesday and give our picks for March Madness. What do you think, PB, right?
Yeah, that'll be a fun one. Let's do it.
All right, man. All right, fans, we'll talk to you soon. PBNZ Sports Chaos, brother. I'll talk to you later.